say, like, academics need to confront the attack on knowledge. Everything that we produce has value, and all of these types of answers. And so that's what I'm going to do.
One of the things that I like most about both of these media products is how they, once again, kind of like driving toward the theme of the carnival this year, they help academics to communicate the value of their scholarship. And I think they do so in a way that, oftentimes journal articles just aren't capable of doing, because there is a level of life, there's a level of humanity, a level of, person-to-person connection. But so that kind of drives me toward another question that I have for the two of you. I'm wondering, what are some of the challenges that you see academics and scholars sometimes facing when communicating the values and insights of their scholarship to non-academics? Is there anything that you see that academics you think could do better when communicating the value of their work?
I think it's just so hard. I think we are trained in such a way to present ideas, even thinking about the difference between an article and a conference presentation, and how both of those genres are challenging for academics to shift back and forth between. And that then when we move toward, talking with a person in a bar, or from that all the way toward these media products where you're being interviewed on one of these things, it's so challenging, I think, to shift those gears or have those changes in mindset, and to calibrate those things slightly differently. I think it's very easy to go from one of the challenges, I think, is to move away from maybe some of the vocabulary that might be hard for other people to parse. Even someone who's in Rec Comp might not know some of the terms that are in Tech Comp, right? Even those small differences in the field can have really big differences in the words you choose to kind of communicate those things. And that small dial, you also can't push it too far where it's all just the most BuzzFeedy thing you've ever seen, right? So there's a big tension there of how do you still keep it academic while communicating the importance of these things? And I think that that would be the skill that I think is that I would recommend to academics. But also, I would not take that skill lightly or say that it is necessarily an easy dial to funnel in. It's very, very challenging. And I think that's important for people to realize.
This is a complicated question for me, because I want to answer it in this large global way, right? I want to say academics need to confront the attack on knowledge. Everything that we produce has value, and all of these types of answers. And so that's what I'm going to do. I think that there's a larger problem that podcasts and YouTube videos can kind of help combat, right? When we think, going back to that conversation about formality and informality. Well, that's really just about accessible language, like you just said, right? So if we can find that medium, right, to deliver this insightful, valuable work, and through a medium or a genre that's accessible for different publics or public audiences, that should be our goal. And the problem is that we, as academics, feel pressure from both the institution and the field and the discipline before you even bring in departments and different publics, right? And so that's my answer. It may not be the best answer or the answer that maybe this prompt is looking for, but y'all, this is important. And I think that this is the answer I want to give.
Yeah. I mean, the number of times, one of my favorite skills and I'm a person that when I'm at a bar alone, a group of men love to approach me and say, "What do you do?" and want me to explain the fields. And then are always like, "Oh, wow. Huh." And it's always a time. I'm always the drunk among the drunks explaining what is rhetoric to people. And that's, I think, one of those skills that is, important, is as important as speaking to the academic publics, is how well can you break it down to your parents or to your grandma or to your spouse. And so that it doesn't, that you don't get locked down in the style, in one style that only worked for a limited set of audiences.